Hey everyone, it's me back, Christina's Voce, SoundCloud, YouTube eventually, and iTunes by default. It is December and it's Monday, and I almost didn't record today because I woke up and feeling the way I'm feeling, which I'll explain in a second. And I was like, yeah, no, not gonna do it today because I don't have anything important enough to say. And I was just like, wow, why do I talk to myself? How dare I talk to myself like that, you know? Like, how long? It's been a while since I talked to myself like that. I don't have anything good enough to talk about. When do I ever have anything good enough to talk about? There's no script here. I never know what I'm going to talk about. But I just thought it was funny that I said that because I hadn't talked to myself that way in a while. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to always talk about myself that way. Like, oh, you can't do I don't know. I can't think of a good idea. Can't think of any good examples. Let me explain why. I'm having my lady time, which I know people don't like to talk about, but I'm doing it. It's my podcast and I don't care. And I've been kind of like out of the work loop for a while. So like I synced up with the full moon like a werewolf now. And so now there's a full moon yesterday, and now I'm just like drained of energy and super unfocused and all the other things that happen when you're PMSing. So I woke up today super late and I felt like I don't even know. I woke up tired. Not the type of tired you feel like when you sleep too late and your body just doesn't feels like all crampy from being, in bed for a billion hours, but just like drained, like super groggy and blah. And I also, it's just hot. It's always hot. If you wake up too late here, the sun is just on you, even with like blinds and stuff. And I was like, oh man, I cannot move. And I'm super thirsty and it's super hot and I'm hungry and can't think of what's in the house to eat. So I'll probably have to walk a million miles to find something. And then I started thinking, okay, yeah, this sucks. It sucks feeling like this every month. But you know what sucks more than feeling like you're dying every month? Is having to feel like you're dying every month and hold a regular 9 to 5 job. And I feel really. That's weird. I just heard like an ice cream truck bell, and there's no ice cream truck type of person, bike, anything around me. Did you guys hear it? I heard it. Okay, I heard it through my headphones, which means that you guys heard it, but I didn't hear it in real life. Um, yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, I feel really grateful that I don't have to do that. Not never again in my life, because who knows? I mean, I really don't know. I just live day by day right now, but I'm glad that I haven't had to do that since I moved out here. And I mean, I know that goes, I know that's like not a popular statement to make because I think a lot of like women don't talk about how annoying, when we talk about how annoying and stressful PMSs and our periods are, but we don't talk about it in terms of like how it inhibits man, our performance at work. And I'm not saying I can't get out of trouble, so I'm just going to say it the way I want to say it. When I had to work and I was PMSing or on my period, it wasn't like I was like blowing up on everyone, It wasn't like, oh, I'm crying at work and whatever. And I mean, that could happen, but that's not what I'm saying happens. What I'm saying is like my brain is so foggy and fried that in order to do anything for like an extended period of time, like a good concentrated hour, I'd have to like pump myself up in the car, or like you're in the bathroom right before you have to like have a meeting and you're like, oh, okay, shh, like breathe all the energy back into your body. You're fading. You can't think straight. You can't remember the correct spelling of email addresses, like you're getting jumbled. Like in order to be that focused, you'd have to have okay, breathing intense, like pump up sessions in the bathroom, do jumping jacks, slap your face, kind of like meditate for a minute, just kind of pull everything back together, and then be able to do something. And then on top of that, and this is probably just, it's not just me, but for me in particular, I'd have to have like a good combo of sugar. So it'd be like chocolate, but not too dark because you don't want it to taste gross. You want it to be like an indulgence, and then have some like plastic candy type of thing. So it's like a sugar, like immediate sugar, like jolt. Oh, I can't think of words. And then I'd also need not coffee because I can't handle coffee, but some caffeinated tea. So it would be like boba milk tea or some sort of like tea from Starbucks. And I'd have to have that all day long, all day long, all day long to function. And I've definitely had it better, like when I was cleansing and taking a billion vitamins, especially like vitamin C and calcium and the other ones that fight fatigue. But just generally speaking, like it did suck to work when you're on your period, like when you're PMSing. And I personally just don't think that we were designed to push as hard as we do during that cycle. And the reason people don't say that out loud is because then you can be like, well, then we should pay you less. We're not going to hire you. You're like not as productive. You're like three-fourths as productive as someone who doesn't have a period and blah, blah, blah. But like personally, right now in this moment, the fact that I can do something, then take a nap, and then do something, and then lay on the floor, and then do something, and then just watch, videos on YouTube for an hour, and then, just that. Like, I can take it as slow as I want. I, it's just the best right now. It's the best, and I don't want to trade that for anything else in the world. Even $1 billion, I wouldn't. Mm-mm. And you're like, well, if you had $1 billion, you could do that all the time. Like, no, the thing is, I don't want to always be lazy all the time. I don't want to always be out of commission all the time. It's just that when my body asks to be out of commission, it is really nice to be able to do that without the world crashing around me, like pissing a lot of people off or being threatened with like losing my job or whatever, losing faith, face, face. It's just nice. It's really nice. And I don't know if I'm always gonna have this, but I have it right now, and it's great. What else? What else was on my mind? I had another thing to jump to, and I don't remember it. Let's see if it comes back, or if something else comes back. Okay, I don't know, but here's another thing. I was thinking about why does YouTube make their uploading and all that, like, not YouTube, why do I have to do so much fancy branding and color coordinating and font prettiness on YouTube? I think that's like one of the reasons I do not want to post on YouTube. Like even when I'm uploading the podcast to SoundCloud, I just throw it up there with a description and that's it. When I have to upload to YouTube, I have to edit. I have to do the encrypting blah blah blah, which takes a long time, like 45 minutes, even with no video, like just audio. Then I have to put it on YouTube and process it for a bajillion hours. And then after it processes, it has to do that other thing where it's actually doing the upload, I think, or whichever one is the real one. And now it's the next day, and then I have to make a thumbnail that's grabs attention. Like, don't want it just to be my face because maybe they don't want to see my face. Don't make it something too appealing where it's like false advertising, clickbait. Pick the right fonts. You don't want Comic Sans or Impact or whatever, and the colors, and balance it and edit it on Photoshop. And I don't want to do any of that stuff. I don't want to hire anyone to do it. So I think what I'm gonna do forever until I decide otherwise is like do the bare minimum on YouTube and see how far I can get. Like how far can I get with lazy titles and lazy, like, zero effort thumbnails and just my content. I want to see how far I can get because I can't do the other stuff. I don't want to, but I do want to post. Like, I'm having a great time talking and sharing my thoughts and ideas, and I think that as long as I'm able to do the thoughts and sharing of ideas online with people, even if like 3 people see them a year, I think I can be okay for a while, you know? But the thing is, the other stuff is what makes me hate it. And I don't want to hate. I don't want to hate the thing that I love. You know, I don't want to be like, well, forget the whole thing because I don't want to take a separate picture of myself to put in a thumbnail. I don't, you know? So we're going forward, we're just going to do the most lazy version of YouTube and see how far I get. And then if magically I can condense what's going on with the post-production, then yeah, I'll do that too when I feel like it. Or maybe I'll get big without ever having to do any of that stuff, and that'll just prove to other people like, hey, you don't have to do it either, and then nobody will do it, and then it'll just be the gold standard for everybody, and everyone will thank me for it. I'll be really proud and happy for and thankful. Like, oh, I'm glad you had enough shame, or you're shameless enough to do it, and now nobody has to do it. And we're so thankful for you, you know? Man, I really want the other thing that I was thinking to come back to my head, and it won't. Felt important. What was it? It's always gonna come back to me at like 3 a.m. when I can't record anything because it's, late and I don't want to wake everyone up. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then it's gone. And I didn't write it down anywhere because I'm trying to, I'm like, well, if it was important, it'll come back to me. And it's not. Prove myself wrong. I mean, I want it to come back, and it's not. Nothing else is here. How else should I fill this space? Oh, well, we can talk about this. I've been doing this like weird training. So if you look on all my accounts, none of them have a lot of views, right? I have one video that's like in the thousands because I did it correctly, meaning, I was like, hey, let's work, let's collaborate on this video, and you share it here and there, and I'll share it here and there, and obviously that's how you get views, and that's why you collaborate for the most part with other people. And then the other stuff, I just got lazy. No, I didn't get lazy. That's not true. I'll tell you another day why I didn't do it for the other stuff. But, train of thought is interrupted. Why was I saying that? Oh yeah, so I don't have a lot of views. That's what we were talking about. I don't have a lot of views on YouTube. Which leads to what? Why is that even important? What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay, so since I don't have a lot of views on YouTube, I kind of am sliding over to making my videos as messy as you see that it is now. My videos and my content, just kind of like being loose and not non-judgmental, non-self-critical about, imperfections, actually even embracing them. And in training, and the reason I can do that is because I don't have a lot of followers. Like, I have 12 on my main channel. I don't know, I think 0 on my other ones, and then podcasts, I haven't really checked, but it's probably 0. And some of the people that are following me, I do know in real life because it just so happened that way, and I'm just, okay, it does make me cringe. Even, like, having people that I know on my Instagram makes me, like, but I'm working on, like, not caring so much and being vulnerable. But I still anticipate that one day I'm going to have an audience, and then I'm going to have an audience of like non-regular followers. So there's be like people who came across my videos, and I keep imagining that they're going to have like, before I have like a real fan base, I'm going to have like these people who just come out of nowhere and then just write stupid comments, or it's just like, oh, I don't want you to come, but you are here and now you're commenting and this video is not for you. And now I have to deal with like the only comments I get are from people who are like, ooh, this is dumb and I don't like this and blah, blah, blah. So in preparation for that, what I've been doing is reading the comment section on YouTube videos that I like. So like, I'll go to a channel, I'll enjoy the video, and in the past I just make sure that I never scroll down past the comment section because I didn't want to see it. I just, no. There's no way that I wanted to watch something that I thought was funny or witty or like, yeah, I like that, and then you go to the comment section and everyone's just like, I didn't get it, I didn't get it. Or people, instead of focusing on like whatever the joke or the like the main topic of the thing was, that they just are like, did it bother you that the book on the floor was kept moving to left and right? Like, there's no continuity. Like, you know, things like that are just have nothing to do with anything. I used to be like super, super triggered by that. And I'm not saying I'm not triggered anymore by it, but I'm just saying now that I'm doing this like intense, like Karate Kid training in the comment section, what I noticed, or I guess my approach to it, is the same approach I had in real life when I was like dealing with CPTSD and like trying to like create this like bubble of like, what do I actually feel and what do other people feel, and like not assuming that I feel the exact same way that other people feel. And I know that sounds dumb if I say it like that. You're like, just because they're mad doesn't mean you have to be mad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, if I was happy when I watched something, and then someone else when they watched it was not happy, and then I read their comment and then now I'm not happy too, because you know, like they're angry about something, but now I'm angry that I read someone's stupid angry comment. That would make me feel angry. That's the kind of bubble I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about like I automatically morph into everyone's opinion and agree with them. I'm just saying that someone being the opposite of what I am can influence me to feel not as good as I did before I read their comment. Train of thought is all over the place, so I have no idea if my sentences are matching, but here's what I do. When I read a comment, I try to feel what the other person is feeling, right? So I'm not really focused on what they're saying, it's just their feeling. So like if it's a girl, and I don't know how old she is, but I just leave it like, okay, we know it's a girl, comments on another girl's video like, oh my god, why didn't she do her nails? Her nails look so grubby in this video. And the video has like nothing to do with anything. You just like see a flash of nails for 3 seconds, but that girl caught it. I think, okay, number one, hypercritical comment. Okay, so if someone is that hypercritical of a detail about another person, they are also hypercritical about themselves. Okay. Next thing, critical about what? The content, or no, not the content, just critical about the appearance. Hypercritical about appearance, that person is probably insecure about themselves, and the reason they're insecure about themselves is because they're looking at all the little things that are not good about them. Like they're focusing, like they could have like really nice eyes, but they'd focus on like their nails, you know, like something you can like easily take care of. And then, oh, the fact that they're posting in public, like, hey everybody, hold on, there's a car passing. The fact that they're posting like, hey everybody, look at that, don't you think so too? It means that they need validation from other people. Like, they don't want to, this one's kind of a stretch, but it's, you know, there's no right or wrong. So this validation is like, hey everyone, gang up on that person too. Like I don't want that person, like I don't want that person to escape what I feel is proper judgment. So it's not okay that that person walks around with not only is it not okay that that person has busted nails, I also need other people to notice and get on this person for having busted nails. Like, it has to be all of us together that are not okay with this person. I need the person to feel not okay about themselves. Makes me think that probably in their lives, like when something goes wrong or bad, like there's just a whole crew of people, could be like friends or family or just like a social group that gets on them about whatever their, problems or quote unquote flaws are. And then what else do I do? I think that's about it. But that's an example. Oh, okay. There's a. Let's let that little motor thingy pass. So that's what I do in the comment section, and it does help me not be triggered. That it does help that a lot. Does it help me not get upset or overwhelmed? In, in bursts, I still have to take a break from that. I can't just be there all day long and listen to that crap. I think the ones that make me most sensitive are the ones based on the worth of black people. I think that's still hard for me. Um, Ones about women, not so much. I think, but I think it bothers me when I watch men idolize, like when I watch some men kind of project their insecurities on other men. I don't know why, but that does still bother me. So like if you watch any of these like quote unquote like alpha type guys, or like guys that even jokingly kind of like perpetuate the old school like view of like, I'm a man and that's a woman and she needs to get in the kitchen and blah blah blah. Like, I think that's funny because I know they're jokes and I understand that the person telling the joke even understands like where they got that view from. And I just feel like that person is consciously aware of the humor of it, which is why they're able to execute the humor. But then when I watch the comment section of those type of channels, it seems like the audience doesn't catch the joke 100%. Like, they take it as like, oh, this is this person for real venting without any comedic filter, and they 100% agree with the way that they're acting. Like, they assume the comic is 100% aligned or represented by the exaggeration of their comments as being like chauvinistic or whatever, machismo. So that does bother me because I kind of feel like, dude, no. Like, and obviously, one part of that that bothers me is like seeing people be dumb because I am very triggered and I'm working on that. Or I'm very far along, way, way more far along than I was before, which is why I was able to start this podcast talking about nothing and like zombied out while PMS. Because before I wouldn't have been able to do that. It would have been like, so like, no, you need to know what you're going to talk about. You need to sound sharp. You need to be on. You need to have topics. You cannot sound dumb. So I know that that's a trigger. And I'm way, way better than I was before. But still, when I read those comments of people, the first thing that I think is like, dude, you are so dumb. Like, you just are so, you're so unclever. You're not witty. You don't really understand how jokes work. You you don't understand how, like, you can't read between lines. You're not 100% on understanding of sarcasm. Like, you can't tell the difference. You can't, you can't read the temperature of the room. And then you post it out loud, but you like, oh no, like now everybody knows you're dumb. Like, dang. Like, and that is what I think when I, more so than thinking like, oh, they shouldn't be rude to women, or I'm so annoyed that there's still men like that who really think that this guy like hates his wife and he's doing it and bashing her in public. More so than that, what bothers me is like the people who don't get it, and I get embarrassed for them. And that is still a trigger for me. And I'm glad that I see it, because then I'm like, oh, that's the part about me that I'm like, hey, you still have this weird thing about looking smart in public, you know? And like, not, for many, 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 many years, I stopped commenting on people's like online. Ugh, that sounded like very spitty. Like, sorry. Let me swallow correctly. For many years, I stopped commenting online, like on popular channels or like online conversations and stuff like that, because I didn't ever want to be or sound or look dumb. And I was just like, it's just better to stay in the shadows, like lurking and judging everyone else. But yeah, now I comment. I'm starting to comment little by little, and if I'll like comment and like I'll have a good idea and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, good, yeah, I like this, and send, and immediately I see a typo and I'm like, well, this is why I don't comment, you know. But then, you know, I'm getting better. It's getting better, and it does bother me. Like it's still like I can go read it again, but I'm just like looking at the typo the whole time. And it doesn't matter even if people like validate me or, you know, agree, or no one even brings up the typo. I'm just like, well, just keep it together next time. You just take it slow and steady because you still made a typo, and hopefully in the future you'll be more mindful of your dumb mistakes. I mean, I don't even say it blatantly like that, but it's just a feeling that I have like, well, try your best next time because you still made a mistake. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't remember what we're saying because we're talking about the guys. But yeah, those are the type of comments still that bother me. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. I obviously am not going to do too much of it while I'm PMSing because I can go off the rails with that. And I do it in short bursts. And sometimes if I really, really like the content, I am not going to the comment section because I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to. But yeah, you guys should try it. It's really, and you know what? It depends on the type of person you are. So if you're the type of person who watches something and then immediately gets triggered and then you type your nonsense in the comments below, okay, what you need to do, sorry, not need, what I recommend someone like you do is to first take a deep breath and think about what it is you're feeling and why, and then think, is this directly related to what I just saw, or do I always feel like that and there's just like things in your life, in you know, your life, my life, our lives that trigger that? And maybe you don't comment so much. Maybe you take a time out before commenting on things. And that's not me, so that's why I didn't start off with that. But if you're the other type of person where the comment section looks like toxic garbage to you, like everything there looks either, like in my case, when I think of toxic garbage, my toxic garbage is like stupid. You're ignorant. To me, that's toxic garbage. But maybe your toxic garbage is like everything in there looks negative. Like, oh, everyone is angry or sad. Angry and sad, angry and sad. If that's what toxic garbage means to you, then instead of, when you go in the comment section, read things, digest them, and try to think like, oh, what kind of place would this person have to be in order to say that, right? Like just what I did with the girl. Like she's not exactly criticizing the person on the screen. What she is actually doing is out loud giving you play by play the way she talks about herself, or that people talk about her, or that she believes about herself. You know? So if you read it that way, you might still think like, oh, they're sad or whatever, or oh, they're angry, but you won't think the world is angry and not safe. You'll just think, oh, these people inside their bodies don't feel safe or happy. And I don't know why that difference matters, but for me, when I think of like, if I think of the world as hostile, like whatever I do, people are going to come at me angry and sad or whatever, it makes me think like, oh, I caused them. I'm causing pain in the world, you know? I'm causing pain in my family and causing pain in my social circle. But if I think of it the other way, like, oh, these people are angry and sad already. They were angry and sad before they even got online. They're just putting their anger and sadness out on my content because it's there, or because the topic reminded them of how angry and sad they already are. it kind of takes the ownership off of myself, you know? So, like, if you were watching your favorite music video and then people did that, you wouldn't have to feel sad, like, oh, my band, like nobody sees what I see and this is my happy place and these people, you know, are ruining it. It's like, oh, no, no, those people they were already like that. So, like, even if your favorite music video wasn't up, you know, you just walking by them at the grocery store or wherever, they were already like that. They just didn't say anything. There was no comment section while you're walking next to them or standing behind them in the line, So that does kind of help me feel better as a step one. And it also keeps me from going off on people, which is if like you're the first person I said, like you just react to people, like you won't go off on people either if you just assume like, look, it's not about the news story or the article you're watching. They were already sad and mad. Like, why get into it with a sad and mad person? They're not even sad and mad about the issue that you're trying to discuss, so don't make sense to do what you're doing. Just save your comment for another day. Okay, and then the other type of person, which is like the one I am, I guess, is, yeah, garbage section is basically, I mean, the toxic garbage of the comment section is basically a reflection of you and the things that bother you about yourself. So, I'm not saying you go in order, or I'm not saying like one is better than the other, whatever. I'm just saying that when you get to the point where when you look at the comment section and you think about yourself, it's helpful because then you get to like look in the mirror and be like, oh no, that's okay. Like, you're being snarky. You're only being snarky because you're trying to defend your sense of intelligence on the matter. And like, it's okay. Like, everyone gets to talk. And even if nobody understands your point, it doesn't equal you're dumb because you're never dumb, Like, you get to use it as like a mirror and then put a little band-aid on all the cuts that you see. So yeah, I do that now in the comment section, and hopefully, I mean, right now it's working just fine because it's not my content, but hopefully in the future, when I'm getting comments directly on my content, I hope that I'm able to hold up the same, like, detachment or learning aspect from reading hot bags of garbage under my videos and my podcasts. But who knows if that'll ever happen. Just training for a fight that'll never come, I guess. Or I don't know if it will. I'm just saying that's just my game plan. Anything else for today or right now? Oh, I'm supposed to have an interview later this week. It's not confirmed because I haven't checked my phone in a while, but it should be. I forgot if I said Friday or Thursday. Hopefully Friday, because by then maybe I'll be done with all this. But a great interview with a great person about wine, if you care about that. It's food related, but hopefully it'll be as loose as these regular podcast episodes. Anything else that's coming? I don't know, because I don't know if I feel like editing videos. Still have 2 lined up. Who knows? Who knows if those will ever go online? Just so many videos. No, not so many. I think 4 videos, probably a little bit more, but that are just sitting. Oh, cops. Cops are going by. I'll just wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit for this nonsense outside to calm down. Yeah, there's just videos that I'm just like, I don't want to edit, and I don't feel like pushing myself to do that. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. I think that's gonna be it for today. It's only gonna be 30 so minutes, so maybe this will upload a lot faster than usual. Anyway, I'll say it again just in case somebody decides to chop and screw my podcast. You can find these episodes on Christina's Voce on YouTube as a channel, and SoundCloud, and iTunes, which I haven't checked, but it's supposed to be automatic. So if you want to listen in full, or like later on I'll cut up segments, go there. Don't go to anyone who might have like stolen what I'm doing and like put it on their channel. Um, yeah. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening, and see you hearing. I will speak to you while you listen passively later. Bye.